She's really not normal. Something is really wrong. And I am upset. I am. Because I wanted to taste those flowers.
You know who's not normal? Leilani of Barbados. Because Leilani of Barbados is a fraud. She built a personality on malice, gossip, and desperation. She went to Ms. World 2000, lost, and that loss has defined her ever since. What can I say? Once a loser, always a loser. Her so-called big moment came years later, when she whined that the pageant was rigged in Priyanka Chopra's favor. She didn't deliver evidence. She didn't uncover corruption. She screamed into the void because outrage is her only currency. And after the pageant, she didn't build a career. She didn't make a name. She didn't leave a mark. 2 decades later, the only stage she has left is a YouTube channel where she claws for clicks. And when that story ran dry, she latched onto Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. Her bitterness found a new outlet because Meghan's success is a mirror to her own failures. And every time Meghan moves forward, it highlights that Leilani never did. Why she fixates on Meghan. Because Meghan wins, and Leilani never has. Her little rants and little side jabs about Meghan is a reminder that she's permanently losing, permanently bitter, and permanently irrelevant. Her channel is a cheap sideshow. A stream of unverified claims designed to bait clicks. Strip away the thumbnails and the fake bravado, and all that's left is a spiteful woman with no career and a crown that says loser. She lost the pageant, and she's been losing ever since. 25 years later, she's still a pauper screaming at the camera, begging the algorithm not to forget her.
Picture this. It's the year 2000, the dawn of a new millennium, and honestly, the world is buzzing with Y2K fever. Glitter bombs explode on runways, pop divas rule the airwaves, and in the glittering arena of the Millennium Dome in London, a 20-year-old firecracker from Barbados named Leilani Dowding struts her stuff as Miss Barbados World. She's got the curves that could stop traffic, a smile sharp enough to cut glass, and eyes that scream world domination. She makes it to the semi-finals of Miss World, peaking higher than most dreams dare to climb. The crowd roars, the cameras flash, and for one electric moment, Leilani is the queen of the cosmos. Fast forward a quarter century, and what do we have? A ghost of glamour, haunting the digital back alleys of YouTube, spewing venom at a woman who's lapped her 1,000 times over. Meghan Sussex. Oh, the irony, the audacity, the sheer unfiltered tragedy of it all. Leilani's story isn't one of rise and shine. It's a nosedive into obscurity, greased with desperation and denial. That Miss World semi-final? It was her Everest, the absolute zenith of a career that never truly launched. Sure, she parlayed her pageant glow into a gig as a page 3 girl for The Sun, bearing it all for the lads in a tabloid empire built on tits and trivia. For a hot minute, she was the fantasy fuel for Britain's working-class blokes, posing in lingerie that left little to the imagination. But let's be real. Page 3 wasn't a launchpad, it was a cul-de-sac. A dead-end street lined with cheap thrills and zero trajectory. By the mid-2000s, the gig dried up faster than her relevance. No Hollywood calls, no Vogue covers, no red carpet redemption arcs. Just the faint echo of wolf whistles fading into the ether. Enter the reality TV circus because why not? Desperate times call for desperate cameras. Leilani clawed her way onto The Real Housewives of Cheshire in 2019, hoping to reinvent herself as the sassy island import shaking up the Botox brigade. Spoiler, it flopped harder than a fish on dry land. Viewers tuned in for the Cheshire set's champagne-fueled catfights, not Leilani's half-baked attempts at stirring the pot. She lasted one measly season, ejected like yesterday's trash, leaving behind a trail of cringeworthy confessionals and zero fanfare. Breakout star they called her in some puff piece promo. Breakout? More like breakdown. The show chewed her up, spat her out, and she slunk back to the shadows, resumed thinner than her patience. And now? Now we arrive at the nadir, the YouTube rabbit hole where Leilani's bitterness festers like an open wound. Her channel, a patchwork of rants, guest spots, and half-hearted vlogs, isn't a platform for wisdom or wit. It's a confessional booth for the jilted, a digital diary of defeat masquerading as hot takes. Subscribers? A loyal legion of the disgruntled, hovering in the low thousands, lapping up her unhinged dissections of everything from lockdown lunacy to immigration woes. But let's cut the crap. The real engine revving this sad little machine. Her laser-focused loathing for Meghan Sussex. It's not subtle. It's not smart. It's a full-throated screech of envy, dressed up as commentary on a woman whose life makes Leilani's look like a footnote in a forgotten almanac. Imagine the gall. Leilani, perched in her modest setup, probably a ring light from Amazon and a backdrop of generic motivational quotes, unleashing tirades against Meghan Sussex, the global icon who's built an empire from the ground up. Meghan, with her unapologetic grace, her Archerwell empire, her Netflix deals that rake in millions, her advocacy that shifts mountains. Meghan, who stepped away from royal rigidity to forge a path of authenticity, family and fierce independence. And Leilani, she's out here, microphone in hand, slamming Meghan's CBS interviews as staged insincerity, accusing her of hatred and jealousy toward Kate Middleton like some armchair Freud with a grudge. Very insincere, she snarls in one viral clip, her Barbados lilt twisted into a sneer, as if Leilani's own life isn't a masterclass in performative fakery, a parade of poses that never landed. This isn't journalism, honey. This is jealousy in a pantsuit. Leilani's spicy takes on Meghan's so-called wannabe Kardashian vibes. Pot, meet, kettle. At least the Kardashians turned their spotlight into a billion-dollar brand. Leilani's just recycling tabloid trash for clicks. She dissects Meghan's blind date fibs with Harry, as if she's got receipts on royal romance. Newsflash. She doesn't. No insider scoops, no palace whispers, just recycled gossip from the Daily Mail bargain bin. And for what? A fleeting bump in views? A dopamine hit from the echo chamber of anti-Meghan trolls? It's pathetic. Leilani's not breaking news. She's breaking down, projecting her own pageant page failures onto a woman who doesn't even register her existence. Let's unpack the psychology of this mess, shall we? Leilani peaked at 20, a Barbados beauty queen in a world that chews up youth and spits out has-beens. That semi-final spotlight, it burned bright but brief, leaving scorch marks on her ego. Fast forward to 45, and life's handed her a participation trophy, a string of short-lived gigs, a divorce or two, whispers of rocky romances that fizzled faster than her fame, and a pivot to podcaster Purgat Barrel. She's not even in the same universe as Meghan Sussex, not by birthright, not by hustle, not by heart. Meghan's navigated racism, scrutiny and exile with a spine of steel and a smile that silences storms. Leilani? She's rage-scrolling through spare reviews, firing off soundbites about Meghan's lows while her own channel languishes in the algorithm's underbelly. It's envy so raw it reeks, bitterness bubbling over from a woman who's never tasted true triumph. Leilani's videos aren't critiques, they're cries for help, wrapped in faux feminism and conspiracy chum. She'll rant about Meghan's hatred for the royals, oblivious to the mirror reflecting her own spite for success she couldn't snag. And the drama? Oh, it's operatic in its futility. Picture Leilani, makeup fierce but eyes hollow, leaning into the camera. Meghan's just chasing clout, as if her entire feed isn't a clout-chasing crusade, baiting the Sussex skeptics for scraps of engagement. One minute she's exposing Meghan's coronation snub as spotlight dodging. Ha! As if Leilani knows the first thing about dodging or seeking light. The next, she's on some pod, crowing about Meghan's jealousy of Kate. Like a high school mean girl who's still salty about Ralph, envious of the comet streaking by. Meghan Sussex untethered and unstoppable. The rage. It's misplaced. A misfire from a woman who doesn't know where to aim. Leilani, darling, put down the mic. Pick up the pieces. The world's moved on. Time you did too. Or stay stuck, snarling at shadows, forever the semi-finalist who never made the finale. You're cool. But we all know how this script ends. Fade to black.